I'll say it isn't as hard as we thought it was. And we're doing a lot more. We, meaning us as a people, are doing a lot more positive than we know. It's just not being promoted as much as the nonsense is. If we promoted every week all the different, for example, activists, brothers and sisters who are former gang members right now, Bloods, Crips, and all that, who turn their lives around and have different programs they created down here in the hood. Tons of them. We have the Upfest movement that we have in the Nation of Islam, which is the United in Peace movement. We've been riding for peace at the end of each month for nearly 10 years, bringing down the crime within the inner cities, not only from Watts to Compton to LA, Long Beach, South Central, all the way around, literally bringing down the crime. Mayors have been acknowledging that. City councils all across in different cities and states have been saying, can you bring that out here? We come together with Bloods, Crips, Mexicans, Black folk, lowriders, Corvette clubs, Harley Davidsons. At the end of every month, we've been doing that. We give out food. We are ending gang wars, bringing truces and making sure that we maintain and help them to be maintained. This is going on all the time. But if we don't promote it, then the idea doesn't get put out in the ethers of the universe and people don't have it in their minds, so they think it doesn't exist. There's a lot more positive going on than what we know. So the thing is, number one, we have to promote more of it. That's the first thing. So that people see, oh, it does exist. Oh, damn, I don't know that. Mm-hmm. And then they'll say, okay, you know what? I guess we can, find some agreement. And let's do something positive because I didn't know it could actually be done. I don't know a Muslim could sit next to an atheist and be cool. Or a brother, black man, FBA, whatever you want to call it, could sit next to a brother who's from
a tethered African.
That's one thing I was wondering. That's one thing I was
wondering. Brother Tariq, I know.
Yeah, when you
that's my brother.
I love Tariq.
Yeah, that's coming for sure.
I'm already knowing. I know Trey, like you jump right there. Go ahead, sir.
Is that divisive? You think when you hear Tariq really kind of divide black people between immigrants and FBAs? Do you think that that's a useful framework to view things through?
Well, first of all, I know we can't necessarily be more divided than we've been in history. I'm sorry to say that, but it's already reached its apex, its climax, the top. That's number one. Number two, I know what he's doing is primarily focusing on us here because that's what we need to do. It's focus on our people here before we go help other people. So that's number two. Number three, it can be divisive if we focus more attention on pointing at the differences rather than the similarities. And that's with anybody. That's not just with Tariq or myself or you. That's with anybody. We got differences. Yeah. That's a fact. Fried chicken versus Jollof. Yeah. Stop playing.
Exactly.
Right? But it's a cultural thing to it. And it's like, I don't care for either too much, but that's something that could be, we'll see. And it's like, okay, it's the comedy side of it now. Okay, now it's like, okay, cool. People get into that, but then you have others who say, okay, well, you have different things that you eat or dance or music or cultural paintings that reflect what we have over here too. Okay, so we can just find more things that we have in common. It's just that simple. So it can be divisive. That is a fact. But we need to focus more on what brings us together and unites us than what separates us. And I see Tariq do that too. That doesn't get promoted as much, where he does.
But yeah,
let's talk about the connections we have, because we have a connection to the motherland.
Do you think Tariq's right that only the foundational black Americans should participate in the hypothetical reparations?
Primarily, damn right. What are you talking about?
Okay.
What are you, well, wait, no. Wait. Are you saying as far as who has to get paid or paid back?
He feels like the foundational black Americans are the only people who should be getting reparations, if there ever are reparations.
Well, I'll say the first thing is anyone who was dealt an injustice by the United States government where it was calculated and it was intentional should receive their just due. However, we just so happen to be the number one group of people who do not receive our just due. And at that point now, it's very disrespectful. The Asians receive theirs. The Jewish state of Israel receives $8 to $10 billion off the top every year on the year since the mid-1940s, and their Holocaust didn't even happen here. Are you telling me the Chinese received theirs? Not a problem. The Italians, because you hung 11 of them off the coast, they received some too. All the rest of these people get their bag. But when it comes to us, those who built the nation, quite literally, were there other people who added certain pieces? Sure, America brought in people and forced them to do certain things. Internment camps for the Japanese, Chinese, different people, all that existed. The natives, you put them on reservations, you killed off a large percentage of them because of smallpox and blankets. General Amherst, who said, aren't you cold, don't you need blankets? And you killed off them and you said, I want to take the mineral well, take the oil, etc., etc. To this very day on reservations, they are suffering to the tune to where there is rape running rampant, crystal meth addiction, alcoholism, but we have all of this happening in the black community as well. And you don't give a damn about black folk. Why? Because they still use us as a commodity today. They still need us today in the prisons today. They have insurance policies, not only on rappers, but on prisoners today. It's all happening at this moment. So I can't acknowledge you because I'm still using you. I'm still benefiting from you. So I can't, it's a conflict of interest financially. So maybe down the line is their intention. We may give you something back. And they're going to say this: we can't afford it, because so far I calculated that they owe us between $50 to $52 trillion. And that's just University of Ottawa over in Canada. One of the professors just calculated $8 an hour, for all the hours of free labor, boom, 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 calculated that for roughly, I think, over 100 years. And they came up with that figure for all of the over 40 million of us, et cetera. And the numbers, please fact check those numbers, but that's the idea. And they said that's roughly the amount that we are owed. And they said, we can't afford it. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but didn't you just send Kiev, Ukraine over $80 billion?
Yes.
Yeah, didn't you send more money after that? Didn't you send money to Afghanistan for something like? Didn't you you're sending money everywhere, but you're saying you can't afford it? No, print some more. Print some more. And then, and not only that, but it's the land, by the way. So we're going to get into that conversation.
Land,
but yes, we should for sure receive our just due, because everyone else has received theirs or are going to receive theirs. So we for sure deserve to have our just.